Well, it's November 14th. We haven't put up a fishing report in a couple weeks, so we're going to try to keep getting one out every week. Justin has been fishing the Toyota Series. He got ninth there. And, been guiding a bunch. Crappie fishing's getting really good.
Yes.
The lake is finally starting to cool down. Bass fishing's getting better. Everything's sort of getting better. So, wanted to do a quick fishing report, get it out for everybody so that if you're going this weekend, maybe it can help you catch a couple. So we'll start with crappie. Crappie fishing's starting to get really good. Lots of fish still in brush piles. Like a lot of fish still in brush piles. Too many fish still in brush piles, maybe, because a lot of them are so small.
A lot of babies out there right now.
But if you get around some of the right piles, there's a lot of nice fish in them, a lot of 11, 12-inch fish, and some fish starting to set up on boat docks, which, if you like to shoot boat docks, works 12 months out of the year here, but is really, really good in the late fall, November, December. So in standard colors, blue ice, baby shad. If you're going to fish brush piles, you can fish minnows if you want to, but you don't have to anymore. You can fish jigs. Anyways, so crappie fishing's really good throughout the whole lake. The docks have been a little bit better down towards the dam. Brush piles have been a little bit better up the river, wouldn't you say?
Yep, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Like he said, the dock shooting, it's a great time of year to learn that if you haven't tried it before, because it can be really rewarding. I was just telling Dave yesterday I did 2 trips, and we crappie fished half of one of them and the full time on the other one. Did pretty well for numbers, caught a lot of little fish. There's a big gap in the sizes right now. It seems like, for me at least, we're catching a lot of nice, like 12-plus inchers, or they're not even keepers.
Yeah.
So the
7 inches or 12 inches.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
There's more in the brush piles, but it's harder to catch a limit out of those because of all the little ones there.
Yeah.
And that's all over the lake.
Yeah.
And then the docks, that's where we're getting our bigger fish, but you got to get your bait way up in there. Helps if you have forward-facing sonar, you can see where they're setting up, but I like a bigger isolated dock on the main channel with a lot of deep water underneath.
Yep.
And just look for those schools and see where they're at. Just, try to present the bait, in a way that doesn't spook them. Because, we were snagging our baits and walking around on the docks, and they would just push back under there deeper. So helps to be stealthy if you can, but it's a great time to learn that technique and do it right now.
And you don't have to have live scope to shoot boat docks. If you just have side scan, you can just side scan down a row of docks, see which ones have a pile of fish underneath them, and catch them.
That's how we found most of them anyways. We find them with side scan, and then live scope will help you dial in a little bit, but you definitely don't need it. Just use that side scan to find them.
It helps, but it's not necessary. A lot of people think you got to have it. It's not necessary. Bass fishing has been, I would say, good. The weights are starting to get better. They were pretty low for late fall, as they always are in October. But have you done any bass trips, Justin?
We did a little bit of bass fishing yesterday.
Okay.
Had kind of a slower morning, but we fished the Angry Pirate earlier this week and had a good time fishing that. Nothing big, but we caught tons and tons of keepers, and I'd say the fishing is getting better. The water's cooled down quite a bit since before I left for Grand, so that's a step in the right direction at least.
Lots of bites, it seems like. At least in my, I haven't fished a ton, but I've fished a few days in the last couple of weeks. I guess one day every weekend. And there's a lot of bites to be had. They're not big necessarily. Mm-hmm. If you're in the right area, they're big and they're willing to bite. But there's a lot of bites. You still catch a bunch of small keepers. You catch a bunch of shorts. But a lot of fish starting to show up on traditional fall stuff. They're starting to bite a buzzbait pretty good. They're still biting a spook pretty well. Crockett gator shaky head in a brush pile. I think that will work until the middle of the wintertime.
Yeah.
Crockett gator jig, skipping boat docks. The new skipper jig is out. The one that Mike and Jason worked on for a long time. So if you're gonna skip boat docks, try that out. But the other thing too is there's a crankbait and there's a glide bait bite going on that's pretty fun, especially if you get the right day, right?
Wind. You need wind.
Yeah.
But for me, it's been all main lake. Stay out in the wind. It seems to be kind of bait fish related. If I'm seeing a lot of shad in an area, then you get a lot more bites. But like a wiggle wart style crankbait, rock crawler, something like that. A square bill will work too if you're in some dirtier water. Maybe throw up a little bit shallower. Yeah. And then, as he mentioned, the glide bait, bigger swim baits, that style of bait is coming into play with how many big shad are on the bank right now.
Yeah, the big shad really moved shallow, and the big fish followed them. You know, a lot of the fish that I think we were fishing for a couple of weeks ago were resident fish, and now those migrators, those ones that follow the shad all year long, they've moved and they're up on the bank. But not a lot of fish in the backs of pockets anymore. You know, more starting to get more towards main lake stuff, getting off of that really shallow structure and getting more on, you know, main lake deals. But I'm gonna go fishing way up the river tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Justin's got a couple guide trips, so I know he's super fired up about that. Business is good, and
Yep.
and that's good. So we'll hopefully I'll make a video about tomorrow's trip if it's not terrible. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week with another report.